Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, people of YouTube, to another episode of What the Football Euros edition. We are going through another group today. Uh, in this group, of course, we're putting under the microscope the Spanish national side. Joining us today, who is going to be changing his nationality, just like Americ Laporte from India to see the Spain, Mr. Divyaj. How are you?
Hola amigo, ¿cómo estás?
No
बस
habla
मेरी
inglés.
स्पेनिश खत्म. So now let's get to the English. Yeah, I'm gonna change my nationality soon, but it's not gonna be Spain, it's gonna be Portugal. So yeah, just I know they are sharing borders. I know the language is almost the same, but let's be factually correct there.
Anyhow, moving forward to
okay.
the football, uh, Group E is an interesting group. Spain clearly the dominating side with a few great additions and a certain player missing, a player or a club. I don't know what I should say. Uh,
uh,
of course, the announcements of no Sergio Ramos and no Real Madrid player in a tournament did come out shocking from a former Barcelona coach. Uh, Controversy. Anyhow, that's about it. You guys can see the squad on the left hand side. What are your thoughts on the squad?
Yeah, although I am a huge Real Madrid fan, I was supposed to wear my Real jersey on this specific podcast, but then we are just shooting back to back on same day. so, but I'm gonna defend. I'm not gonna defend. I'm just gonna put my perspective by the ex-Barcelona coach Luis Enrique. I did not choose any Real Madrid player. I thought from my personal perspective, he should have let at least Lucas Vasquez in the team. Okay, definitely Sergio Ramos. Sergio Ramos, probably their PK is not there. Yeah, so Ramos is their most experienced defender in the team. He knows how to win the trophies. He has played some big matches. He has won a World Cup. He has won the Euro twice and blah blah blah. But this season, like he was mostly injured. It wasn't the best of season for Sergio Ramos. So yeah, I believe his injuries would be our main talking in the Spanish team's selection process. So maybe that's why Sergio Ramos was not a part of the squad. Isco, Asensio, I don't have to speak for them. Their performances are just they just speak for themselves. I mean, like they don't even deserve to be in Real Madrid. Forget Spain. So, uh, okay. So, yeah, I mean, like it was shocking, definitely, not to include a Real Madrid player, given their history with Spain, the two club giants, Real and Barcelona. But yeah, you can say that it was quite a ballsy move, and it can pay for Enrique. And if it would, then everyone would be like, "Oh, what a great season" or stuff like that. But it's gonna backfire. We have seen in the friendlies with Portugal. I'm not okay. So even their defense was good. It was not best. It was not at it used to be or it should be, but it was good. They kept a clean sheet. Although major role was played by the Portugal strikers rather than Spain defenders. But yeah, so from the friendly, I would say that just a suggestion, Luis Enrique. I know you're not gonna even watch the video, but please don't play Alvaro Morata. If you just gonna win any match, please don't play him. Okay, so now jokes about coming to the squad. Uh, there are obviously definitely shocking changes, but they have a good squad. Their goalkeepers issues are well resolved. Unai Simon, I believe he's gonna start. De Gea, I don't think that David De Gea is gonna start. I believe in defenders. They have Elba, they have Ezi, they have Eric Garcia, they have Laporte, they have Lorente. I think Lorente should start for them, and I believe he even start against Portugal. So their backline is sorted. Midfield is obviously sorted. I mean, like they don't have to worry about much. The they have to worry about their forwards. They literally don't have anything. They are just relying on Alvaro Morata, and I believe it's gonna haunt them. It's gonna come back to them. So that was my review. What are your thoughts?
My thoughts are simple that Sergio Ramos was. You have to take your captain at all costs. That was my simple thought. I agree. Lucas Vasquez is injured and out, so he could not have been taken. Danny Carvajal was going to be Spain's first choice right back. Now they don't have him, so I think Marcos Llorente is going to play at right back. He usually plays as a centre mid or CDM or a cam this season with Atletico. Had a great season, but I think he can play at right back as well. So that's fine. They've got good players. Like there's no shortage of good future superstars. I think Ferran Torres is going to be an amazing player. He scores a lot of goals whenever he puts on Spanish jersey, and certainly even for Manchester City, he was scoring a lot of goals. It was just that those games were the games in which Pep decided to shuffle his squad around so people didn't give too much shit. Uh, and they've got the likes of Pedri, who is amazing again. Probably Ansu Fati would have made the squad, but he's also injured. I just have a problem that how can you take Eric Garcia? Eric Garcia has played about 15 minutes of football in the whole. He made one appearance or so, I think, because of his transfer fiasco of him wanting to go to Barcelona and not renewing. I'm not going to go into that too much, but I think there was one space, especially if the point the people are making is that they're taking Eric Garcia because it's a project and they want him to know around because they believe Eric Garcia and Pau Torres are going to be the future along with Aymeric Laporte. Laporte is certainly the biggest addition. I think Laporte gave them the confidence of not taking Sergio Ramos, and there's no doubt about Aymeric Laporte. When he came to Manchester City, he made them win a title.
Yeah.
He's a brilliant defender. So I think that is about why there is no Real Madrid player. Apart from that, totally agree with you. Asensio should nowhere be around the squad. And in striking options, I think Alvaro. They usually Luis Enrique usually plays Alvaro Morata or Danny Olmo comes in. Although Danny Olmo likes to play more on the wing, but Campere centrally. I'm sorry. So yeah, they have Pablo Sarabia who can play as a false nine and a creative midfielder, and he might start, might not start. But yeah, I think Iago Aspas could have been picked just in order to
Yeah.
provide another dynamic, or to just substitute Rata off. Uh, but their front three, I think, is going to be. It is very well documented that it is going to be focused around Morata, with Morata, Ferran Torres, and Mikel Oyarzabal, much to your dismiss. But I think that is going to be it. I think Spain are looking at this tournament as a project. Anything above quarterfinals would be a good finish for them, and I think that's about it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I mean, like they are experimenting probably for the World Cup. They need to win the World Cup. I mean, like it's like they are definitely going through a transition phase, and they have to let the old one out and like give the major. They give the exposure of the major tournaments to youngsters. So maybe I believe it should be the thinking behind the selection process. But I mean, like no one knows what goes inside the head of the managers. So okay, apart from Spain, I believe the next big club would be that gonna make some. excitement to the fans would be Poland or Sweden. So, what are you gonna say about Poland?
Uh, Poland, of course, the home of Mr. Robert Lewandowski. I am not going to call him Lewandowski because I think that is just unfair. Uh, Poland do have quite a few players. I think the likes of Piotr Zielinski, Arkadiusz Milik, these guys are going to pull them off. Uh, I know you don't believe in them that much, but Gregor Krychowiak and Mateus Klich have had decent season, and Carolinetti again just missed relegation against Torino with Torino, and maybe they make it out. You never know. I don't. Apart from Dejan Kulusevski in Sweden, I really don't see anybody who is going to make that much of a mark. I really like Sweden. I was really looking forward to seeing Mr. Zlatan Ibrahimovic play again. Uh, because I believe somebody like Alexander Isaac could have really flourished with playing with Zlatan under his tutelage, and that would have been great. But I don't see that happening anymore. And so, yeah, surprisingly, I think Slovakia might pull a surprise if Poland does not do anything. Milan Skriniar, of course, had a great season with Inter Milan. Kept made 30 appearances, helped the Inter Milan be the best defense, and of course, always there, never gets injured almost. Marek Hamsik is just his hairstyle speaks for him. He stands out, and I really like. I've always liked the way he used to play. He's a slow, deep lying midfielder who can finish the ball from anywhere. And if they stuck to their guns, I guess they have a decent goalkeeper in Martin Dubravka as well. But I think I may be stretching them too far. So I think my group prediction would go Spain, Poland, Slovakia, Sweden, or Sweden, Slovakia.
Okay, yeah, I mean, like, Spain's gonna be on the top. There is no doubt about that. But let's have a little fun there. I'm gonna put Sweden, my second choice, and then Poland, and then Slovakia. Just for the content, nothing personal.
We love a controversy around it.
Yeah, we have to. Okay. Spain is the clearly the favorite for topping the group, but they're not gonna make far in the tournament. That's our prediction. But stay tuned for our Euro predictor. And in the next video, you're gonna see probably the group of death. Not probably, definitely the group of death and the three big teams in the Euro. I won't say all of them have a chance to win the Euro, but definitely France have the chance to win. So till then, tata, bye bye. We're gonna see you in the next video.